Hi, everyone. Hi. I'm Albert Bengtsson. I've been 25 years in trying to understand the internet. It all started, actually, for me. My father is Venezuelan, my mother is Swedish. I grew up here in Sweden. To talk to my father over the phone, she had to work half an hour as a nurse to finance 1 minute of phone call. This is something we don't talk about usually these days. And we tell our kids, oh, back in the days. They think we're speaking about the dinosaurs, right? But that was the reality. So now with technology actually helping us to connect with each other, we don't have loneliness anymore, right? I don't know if that is true. My speak today is going to be about 2 philosophical questions, and it's going to be interactive, so you have to stay active because I'm going to throw it out to you. You are the ones that are going to come up with the answers. Because I'm just curious. I'm really good at asking why. I usually do it 7 times, and then you drill down to something that you hardly can, it becomes philosophical. Well, once again, back in '93, I went to Venezuela and visited my father, me and my best friend. We were actually hitchhiking around in Venezuela for 6 weeks until I went to his house first. I didn't call my mother for the first month. Back then, this was quite normal. Today, if you don't know where your kids are, 1 hour, you call the cops, right? This is also something that we need to think about. What's happening with the technology? How are things coming together? So I've been working with this kind of technology and human interaction ever since. I studied at Södertörns högskola. I studied economy and new media, it was called. It's quite interesting. And all of a sudden, all the pieces of the puzzle came together. It's going to change the way that we work. Of course, everybody understands this. The large company, they're going to be so fast and run for this. And they didn't. So usually when I'm up here and speaking, I put things down in words. I'm the co-author of this book, Principles of Entrepreneurial Capital, together with Birgitte Stjerne and Roland Williams. And it's about the incapacity of large companies to actually use technology for the greater good for humanity. Because if we don't have our incumbent companies, what are we going to make money on? Seriously. And until 1 year ago, I used to work for Apple as an enterprise business developing manager, being the one pathing this together, helping the large company doing all this. But a few years ago, I saw something else coming through. We called it extended reality. We made a hackathon on this 6 weeks here at Epicenter. So right now, I'm actually starting an accelerator using this kind of technology to enhance AI and visualize what's happening in AI to make companies hopefully be faster to use this technology. In this hackathon, an interesting project that I would like to talk to you about came up. It was, let me show it.
Hello, where am I?
You're in my bar, the Red Anchor. I'm Max, the bartender. What can I get for you?
What a day. I'll have a margarita, please.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve, kid. Life got you down? I've been around the block a few times. Margarita coming right up.
Yeah, it's been a lot, with work and such.
Tell me about it. I've seen my fair share of tough days. Sometimes a drink just isn't enough. What's eating at you, kid?
Just a lot lately. Working a lot, you know, and not getting enough sleep.
I think I get the picture.
So this is a virtual bar. It was made 20 hours here sitting. The one sounding like the robot here is the programmer, Linus. He made this with a beer in his hand over a weekend. It was amazing. The interesting part here, I think, is that an AI is giving life to actually dialogue. And the interesting thing is it going to cure loneliness? And before that, we were actually, trying to spin it again. So what are we going to do with this application? There are so many things we can do with it. What if we could call it up, put it in a video meeting, like Google meeting? I want a Max to jump into this Google meeting. Couldn't we have multiplayer here? And all of a sudden, we were talking about having a drink in this virtual bar because Linus is based in Östersund, which is very far from here. And then all of a sudden, we were discussing when it comes to the philosophical question. If you sit in this bar and you just hang in it, are you actually drinking alone? I want you to take 3 minutes, turn to your neighbor, and have a discussion about that, and ask why, and why you think about it. And what is the philosophical or the mental thing behind that why? Please go ahead. 3 minutes you got. Half a minute left. So, very interesting. I heard a few laughs, at least. That was great. Did we touch on consciousness? Because some groups used to do that. That if the AI becomes conscious, then you're not drinking alone. The question also is rhetorical, of course, but if you confide your inner wishes with this person and you do not do that with your partner, are you unfaithful? Where is the boundaries of this? And the AI is going to be with you all the time. The same as the iPhone is much more closer to you than your partner will ever be, and know a lot more about your secrets, probably. Well, that was one of the questions. And I think, looking at longevity, I think this is important discussions that we need to have, because it's not about how can we be, it's not only about how do we get older. It's also about what I think is important. How do we feel more like humans? How do we build the tech so that we are not excluded and feel that we shouldn't be older or become older? There is a group, I don't know if you know these. They're called the Lenovo Silver Snipers. We're going to see a short clip about them.
Gaming is by far the fastest growing sport in the world, which also makes it the most competitive arena for brands. Every event is filled with the latest tech to get the attention from a new generation. How could Lenovo reach out into this world? Well, we called them something different.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of CSGO News. Actually one of the more exciting episodes I've had to make in a long time, because today we make history in CSGO and maybe in esports, as I introduce to all of you an old team, and probably the oldest team ever to compete in CSGO. That is the Silver Snipers.
Dataspel är ju inte bara för barn och unga, förstås. Världens första seniora e-sportlag, Silver Snipers, deltog faktiskt i DreamHack i Jönköping i helgen.
Elsa deltagare, 81 år gammal.
Vem av er är 81?
Jag.
Visste du någonting om den här sporten innan?
Inte mer än att det var dataspel och att det var unga grabbar som höll på sköt.
Hur tror du att det kommer gå för dem i turneringar?
They got absolutely wiped at Counter-Strike, but won the hearts of an entire gaming community, if not an entire world.
Chamado de Silver Snipers.
Con Silver Snipers.
Team Silver Snipers.
Like, you just can't make this stuff up. I thought Omen or HP was doing a great job promoting their series, but Lenovo might be topping them out here.
The Silver Snipers were featured by some of the world's biggest gaming sites and media outlets. With fans adding up every day, they're now off to a first world tour, proving Lenovo acts by its promise. Different is better.
So preparing for this keynote, Linus and me, we had a discussion, and we were discussing this team. Since they are working with technology made for 15-year-old boys, also mentioned. And we were discussing, it's no problem. When you're 150 years old, you're still going to have a body like a 20-year-old, Linus told me, in a few years from now. Yes, but that is not the question, right? The question, the interesting part in this is how come you have the interest when you're 81 years old playing a game for 15-year-old boys? I mean, a lot of things are happening. I turned 50 this summer, so that's probably why I'm asking the question, right? We are changing in our mentality, and that is different from our body. And the question I would love you to discuss, 3 minutes, is what kind of computer games would a 150-year-old computer game developer make? They wouldn't make Counter-Strike, which is running around trying to kill people, probably. But what kind of games would they make? Please, 3 minutes, discuss internally. One more minute. Alrighty. Did we get any ideas? Could you shout out? Did anybody get a good idea what a 150 game developer would feel like making a game? Tinder. Society progression. I love that. Did someone over there? Simulations. Interesting. Reconnection with life. 150 years of life. I know. Active and useful one. Counter-Strike. I don't know. I'm not 150 years old yet. Hopefully, if I stay and do as everybody's been saying today, I will be. Just one small clip, and then the punchline.
I don't know. I was having dinner at a friend's house, this director, and he had some kids, and there was like a 13-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, and they hadn't seen the film The Matrix. And so the director's like, well, why don't you just tell them it's about? So I started to say, well, there's this guy who's in a kind of virtual world, and he finds out that there's a real world, and he's really questioning what's real and not real, and he really wants to know what's real. And the young girl was like, why? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, who cares if it's real? And I was like, what, you don't care if it's real? And she was like, no, it's awesome.
You think it's awesome?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So just take the important parts here from Windy, getting the last words. His motto is live, laugh, love, and kill terrorists. Thank you very much.